Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well at your places and taking the utmost care of yourself. So as we know earlier that we are studying the chapter number 5, Movement Towards Independence, and we have shared 4 parts of this chapter. In previous parts we have discussed about the Azad Hind Fauj and Subhash Chandra Bose. So today we will discuss about the last step of the freedom. Okay, that is achieving independence and partition of India. Later on we will discuss about the Mountbatten Plan, which was introduced in 1947, and the last one is Indian Independence Act. So let's start with achieving independence. So what happened during the Azad Hind Fauj when the soldiers were caught or arrested by the British government as a prisoners of war? So by that, after the arresting the prisoners of war, they were put on the trial by the British government, and that's why Bhulabhai Desai and Jawaharlal Nehru fought their cases. Okay, but later on the British government, what can we say, they punished them, and from every nook and the corner of the country, every Indian people showing their disinterest towards these decisions of the government, and that's why government had to set them free. So government released them. British government released the Azad Hind Fauj soldiers, and later on the one incident also took place, like a mutiny war of Navy members at Bombay. Navy mutiny at Bombay. So by these two events, now Britishers realized that they cannot be ruled for a long time in India, and now the time has come to quit India. So that's why on 20th February, on 1946, on 20th February 1947, it is there, not 6. On 20th February 1947, Britain's Prime Minister Attlee has declared that India will be freed by the British government as per the cabinet mission. As per the cabinet mission, India will be declared independent by the British government. So what can we say? This is this kind of, after receiving the good news, Indians were in very joyous mood. So after this declaration, Lord Mountbatten has been appointed as the new Viceroy of India, and as well as last Viceroy of the India also. So Lord Mountbatten came to India just for the handing over the power to the Indian politicians or Indian leaders. So before doing that process, Mountbatten suggested to prepare Constitution of India, and that's why Constituent Assembly was formed. So for the Constituent Assembly formation, there was a voting or election was carried out, and in that election, Congress got 201 seats and Muslim League got 73 seats. Okay, so in that election, Congress secured 201 seats and Muslim League secured 73 seats in that election. After forming the Constituent Assembly, Muslim League and its political leader, main leader, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, okay, he demanded for the separate nation Pakistan. Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, like prominent Congress leaders, were not satisfied with these demands. But the Muslim League was rigid, was stubborn on their demand. That's why sometimes Mountbatten advised to the Congress leaders to accept the partition of India and give them separate nation. By that, many times Muslim League showed their interest in the Constituent Assembly's meeting. They boycotted the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly on 9th December 1946. So they boycotted first meeting of the Constituent Assembly, and at that point of time, communal riots were took out in India. So condition became pathetic in India. So later on, Lord Mountbatten explained to the Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel that you should focus on the development of your own country, right? So give them to separate nation Pakistan and focus on your country. He explained very much what can we say, very much clear words that कि भाई हिंदी में मैं एक्सप्लेन करना चाहूंगा कि एक केओटिक मतलब कि एक समस्या पॉलिटिकल माहौल, एक समस्या रूपी पॉलिटिकल माहौल से अच्छा है कि आप लोग अलग रहकर दोनों अलग अलग देश का डेवलप करें. ओके, तो इट विल बी मोर बेनिफिशियल टू बोथ ऑफ द कंट्री. Okay, so Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Jawaharlal Nehru considered this as a good advice and they accepted. After they accepted, they went to the Gandhiji for the discussion on this matter. And with heavy hearts, all the Congress leaders and Gandhiji had to accept this proposal of partition of India. Now, the second is a Mountbatten Plan. So Mountbatten Plan, so partition of India was being carried out by the Mountbatten Plan only. So on 24th March, see यहाँ पर आप सबको थोड़ा सा डिस्कस कंफ्यूजन ना हो इसके लिए डेट लिख रहा हूँ. 24th March 1947. On 24th March 1947, Mountbatten has presented his scheme. Scheme is presented by the Mountbatten on 24th March 1947. In this scheme, he has declared that there is no alternative option other than that the partition of India, and that's why on June 3 or 3rd June, I will write 3rd June of 1947. He presented a plan of Mountbatten. He presented a plan. Later on, it was known as the Mountbatten Plan. On June 3, 1947, he presented a plan. It is known as the Mountbatten Plan. So, according to the Mountbatten Plan, which provinces were given to the Pakistan was described very well. So, during the Mountbatten Plan implementation, East Bengal and Sylhet provinces of Assam were showing their interest to join to the Pakistan, right? So during that time, many other provinces were also showing their interest to join Pakistan. So Mountbatten has prepared a table that which provinces were joined to the Pakistan are going to join to Pakistan. So there are northwest provinces, West Punjab, then Sindh, Balochistan, and East Bengal and Sylhet provinces of Assam. So these kinds of states were merged into the Pakistan Union. So now the Pakistan has two types: West Pakistan and East Pakistan. So East Bengal and Sylhet were considered as the East Pakistan, and Sindh, Balochistan, West Punjab, and northwest provinces were considered as the West Pakistan. Done. So this is all about the Mountbatten Plan. Now we will discuss about the Indian Independence Act. We had a discussion that lately the Prime Minister of Britain has declared that India will be set up free by the British government. So in July 1947, British Parliament has passed the law of Indian Independence Act. So according to this act, now the British rule has been going to an end on India, and that's why Gandhiji considered this act as the one and only beneficial act for India is given by Britishers. Then, now the last viceroy Mountbatten has arranged a party or arranged a function for the handing over the powers to the Indian government. Now here, before handing over the powers to the Indian government, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was declared as a Governor General of Pakistan, and Lord Mountbatten. So Mountbatten was appointed as a Governor General of India. Remember, Mountbatten was Governor General of India and Muhammad Ali Jinnah was appointed as the Governor General of Pakistan. Now the Governor General Mountbatten has arranged a function at the Red Fort in Delhi on 14th August, midnight 14th August 1947. During that night, the Union Jack, the national flag of the Britain, was removed from the pole, and instead of that, tricolor, the national flag of India, was hoisted. Okay. So after the completion of handing over the power, C. Rajgopalachari, remember this name, C. Rajgopalachari. C. Rajgopalachari was appointed as the first Governor General of India. First Governor General of India as an Indian. Okay, so after that, 15th August was a very good dawn for the India. Everyone was enjoying the freedom because we had spent a lot of sacrifices, right? What can we say? After the long struggle, Indians got the freedom. Everyone was happy instead of one man, and he was Gandhiji. Gandhiji was very sad due to the partition of India, and that's why he went to the meditation. Okay, so this type of topic we have cleared that Indian Independence Act July 1947. Now, here I am ending this chapter, but there is one more immediate problems after being a new country on the map of the world. Which kind of problems were there for the India, like this, with debts and credits, settlements of refugees, settlements of militaries, then appointing the administrative offices for the country, and the most important, that is the settlement of the international boundaries. Okay, so India has to plan for this, all the problems, and they need to plan a long-term planning for these kind of issues. I hope you clearly understood what we have discussed today.